Have you ever found yourself sitting quietly, perhaps sipping your morning tea, and that nagging thought creeps in, the one that whispers, "What if something happens? What if I can't manage on my own anymore?" It's a thought many of us try to push away, a quiet fear that lurks in the back of our minds. We cherish our independence, our routines, the comfort of our own home. The very idea of leaving it, especially for something like a nursing home, can feel like a betrayal of everything we've worked for, a loss of control, a painful surrender. And yet, there's a powerful truth many people over 60 don't fully acknowledge until it's staring them right in the face. Deciding whether to stay in your home or consider a nursing facility isn't just about what you want today. It's about facing the realities of tomorrow, not just for you, but for those you love. There's a secret that the ads for idyllic retirement living often don't tell you. A deeper layer of considerations that are often brushed under the rug. In this video, we're going to bravely look at 6 hard truths about living alone versus moving to a nursing home. Truths that are rarely discussed openly, but are absolutely essential for making an informed, peaceful decision for your future. Stick with me to the very end, because I promise there's something waiting for you that will genuinely surprise you, and perhaps even change the way you see this entire conversation. Let's dive into the first of these hard truths, something that often feels counterintuitive when we talk about staying in our own beloved homes, the myth of absolute freedom. When we imagine staying in our house, the one we've built memories in, where every creak and groan of the floorboards is familiar, we envision boundless independence. We think, "This is my castle. I can do what I want, when I want," and in many ways, that's true. You don't have set meal times, or visitor restrictions, or activity schedules imposed on you. You can wear your pajamas all day if you choose. But here's the quiet reality that often creeps in unnoticed, that very independence can, paradoxically, lead to a different kind of confinement. Imagine waking up one morning and feeling a bit off. Maybe you're dizzy, or your knee is acting up more than usual. In your own home, who is there to notice? Who will bring you a glass of water, check your temperature, or simply ask if you're all right? For many who live alone, that immediate human connection, that watchful eye, is simply not there. The freedom to be alone can very quickly become the burden of being isolated. Think about the simple act of falling. It's a fear many of us live with. If you fall in a nursing home, there are call buttons, staff trained to respond, and help is often just moments away. In your own home, especially if you live alone, a fall can mean hours, or even days, of lying on the floor, waiting for someone to realize you're missing. The freedom to wander your hallways unseen can quickly become the risk of an unassisted emergency. This isn't to instill fear, but to shine a light on a very real aspect of independence that often gets overlooked in the romanticized vision of aging in place. When we talk about independence, we must also consider interdependence, the network of support that keeps us safe and well. And often, for those living alone, that network can become stretched thin, or simply non-existent on a day-to-day basis. We might rely on neighbors, friends, or family for occasional check-ins. But what about the spontaneous, unexpected moments when a little help is critically needed? The myth of absolute freedom also extends to the practicalities of daily life. The freedom to cook your own meals is wonderful, until arthritis makes chopping vegetables painful, or standing at the stove becomes a dizzying prospect. The freedom to maintain your garden is a joy, until bending down to weed becomes impossible, and your once pristine roses begin to wither. The freedom to clean your own home is fulfilling, until climbing stairs with a vacuum cleaner feels like an Olympic event. Slowly, imperceptibly, these small freedoms start to erode, not because you've chosen to give them up, but because your body or circumstances make them increasingly difficult, even dangerous. And that's when the freedom of living alone can feel less like liberation and more like a cage of limitations. This brings us to a second hard truth, one that can hit your wallet as hard as it hits your emotions: the hidden costs of staying put. We often assume that staying in our own home is the most financially sensible option. After all, the mortgage is paid off, or the rent is stable, and we're not paying the high fees associated with a nursing home. Right. But the reality is far more complex, and often far more expensive than we initially imagine. Think about it as we age. Our homes often need modifications to keep us safe. Grab bars in the bathroom, ramps for entryways, wider doorways for walkers or wheelchairs, perhaps even a stair lift. These aren't minor expenses. They can quickly add up to thousands of dollars. And what about maintenance? A leaky roof, a broken water heater, a furnace that gives out in the middle of winter? These are significant, unpredictable costs that fall squarely on your shoulders when you live alone. Then there's the burgeoning cost of in-home care. Perhaps you start with just a few hours a week for light cleaning or meal preparation. But as needs increase, you might require assistance with bathing, dressing, medication management, or even overnight supervision. These services, while invaluable, come with a hefty price tag, often charged by the hour, and they can quickly eclipse the monthly cost of some nursing home facilities. And let's not forget transportation. If you can no longer drive, you'll need to pay for taxis, ride-sharing services, or specialized transport, which can add up. Especially for regular appointments or social outings, the hidden costs also extend to the less obvious. What about the cost of loneliness? While not financial, it's a burden that impacts health and well-being, potentially leading to more doctor visits or increased medical expenses. The cost of food can also be surprisingly high for someone living alone if they're unable to shop efficiently or cook in bulk, leading to more takeout or wasted groceries. The perceived financial savings of staying home can very quickly vanish when faced with the true cost of maintaining a safe, accessible, and supported living environment. It's crucial to sit down, do the math, and look at the whole picture, not just the obvious housing costs. Understanding these financial realities is a vital step in making a truly informed decision, one that considers the long-term sustainability of your living situation. Now that we've shed light on the myth of absolute freedom and the often unseen financial burdens of staying home, let's move on to another critical aspect that can deeply affect your peace of mind and well-being. Let's turn our attention to the third hard truth, which can be particularly unsettling: the reality of declining health and safety risks at home. It's a topic we'd rather not dwell on, but our bodies naturally change as we age. We might become a little less steady on our feet. Our eyesight might dim. Our hearing might not be as sharp. And managing complex medication schedules can become a real challenge in our own homes, which weren't designed with these changes in mind. These shifts can pose significant safety hazards. Think about the simple act of navigating your home at night. A throw rug that was once harmless can become a tripping hazard in the dark. A steep staircase, manageable for decades, suddenly feels like a treacherous mountain climb. The bathroom, with its slippery surfaces, becomes a high-risk zone for falls, especially when getting in and out of the shower or using the toilet. And if a fall does occur, we discussed the isolation aspect. But what about the physical consequences? A broken hip, a head injury, or a severe sprain can lead to long-term disability, pain, and a dramatically reduced quality of life, often requiring extensive rehabilitation that may not be easily accessible from home. Beyond falls, there's the critical issue of medication management. As we age, it's common to be prescribed multiple medications for various conditions. Keeping track of dosages, timing, and potential interactions can be incredibly complex. A missed dose, a double dose, or taking the wrong medication can have serious, even life-threatening, consequences. At home, this responsibility rests entirely on your shoulders, or perhaps on an overwhelmed family member. In a nursing home, medication administration is typically managed by trained professionals, significantly reducing the risk of errors. Then there's the often overlooked risk of emergencies beyond falls. What if a fire starts in the kitchen? What if you experience a sudden stroke or heart attack? In a nursing home, there are staff on site 24/7 trained in emergency response and equipped to get you immediate medical attention in your own home, especially if you live alone. Valuable minutes or hours can be lost before anyone realizes something is wrong. Even simple things like preparing meals can become a safety concern. Forgetting to turn off the stove, leaving food out too long, or struggling with sharp knives can lead to accidents or health issues. The reality is, our homes, while comforting, were not built to be hospitals or assisted living facilities. They are full of potential hazards for an aging body. And the lack of immediate, professional oversight can turn minor issues into major crises. It's a sobering thought, but one that demands our attention when weighing the options. Now, let's move to a fourth hard truth. One that doesn't just affect you, but profoundly impacts the lives of those closest to you. The emotional toll on family caregivers. We often want to stay home to avoid burdening our children or other family members, thinking we're preserving their freedom and peace of mind. But the opposite can often be true. As your needs increase, even subtly, your loved ones naturally step in. They start with small things, picking up groceries, driving you to appointments, helping with a chore or two. But as your health declines, or as you become more frail, these tasks can quickly escalate. They might find themselves managing your medications, helping you bathe and dress, preparing all your meals, doing all your cleaning, and even providing overnight supervision. This gradual increase in responsibility can be overwhelming. Imagine a daughter, perhaps in her 50s or 60s, who is still working, raising her own family, and trying to maintain her own marriage and friendships. Suddenly, she's spending hours every day as a caregiver. She might miss work, sacrifice her social life, and neglect her own health because she feels a profound sense of duty and love for you. This isn't a choice she makes lightly. It often feels like the only option. But the emotional cost can be immense: chronic stress, anxiety, guilt if they feel they're not doing enough, resentment if they feel their siblings aren't contributing, and eventually, burnout. They might feel torn between their responsibilities to you and their responsibilities to their own lives. They might feel guilty for even thinking about a nursing home, believing it means they're abandoning you, when in reality, it could be the most loving decision for everyone involved. They worry constantly when they're not with you. Did mom take her pills? Is dad safe on his own? This constant state of worry can erode their mental and physical health. The relationship itself can change too. The loving bond between parent and child can transform into a care provider and care recipient dynamic, which can be painful for everyone. Your children want to be your children, to share special moments, to laugh, to simply enjoy your company. When they become full-time caregivers, that relationship can become strained, focused purely on tasks and needs rather than connection and joy. This isn't to say your family wouldn't want to help, but it's vital to recognize the immense pressure and sacrifice involved when caregiving becomes a full-time, demanding role. Sometimes, the most loving choice for everyone is to ensure you receive professional, comprehensive care that allows your family to be your family again, rather than your caregivers. Understanding this truth requires a deep, honest conversation with your loved ones, acknowledging the realities of what true, continuous care means for everyone involved. As we think about these critical personal and familial considerations, let's seamlessly shift our focus to an aspect of well-being that often goes overlooked, but is profoundly important for our happiness and longevity. Now, let's explore a fifth hard truth, one that often surprises people because it challenges our assumptions about what keeps us vibrant and connected: the social stimulation gap. When we stay at home, especially as our mobility or social circle shrinks, the risk of isolation can become very real. We might think, I have my television, my books, my hobbies. I'm perfectly fine on my own. And for a while, that might be true. But human beings are inherently social creatures. We thrive on interaction, conversation, shared experiences, and a sense of community when living alone. Opportunities for this kind of spontaneous, regular social engagement can dwindle. You might see family once or twice a week, or a friend might call. But what about the daily interactions that keep our minds sharp and our spirits lifted? The casual chat with a neighbor, the shared laugh over a silly joke, the stimulation of hearing different perspectives, the opportunity to participate in group activities. These can become luxuries rather than daily occurrences. This lack of consistent social stimulation can have serious consequences for our mental and even physical health. Studies have shown that social isolation can be as detrimental to our health as smoking or obesity. It can lead to feelings of loneliness, depression, anxiety, and even accelerate cognitive decline. Our brains need regular engagement, new information, and varied interactions to stay agile and healthy. When we're alone for extended periods, our world can shrink, becoming predictable and monotonous, which isn't good for our mental well-being. Think about the structure and opportunities a good nursing home or assisted living facility offers. While it might feel like a loss of freedom initially, it often provides a built-in community. Imagine organized activities, exercise classes tailored to your abilities, card games, book clubs, movie nights, craft sessions, live entertainment, and outings to local attractions. These aren't just ways to pass the time. They are vital opportunities for social engagement, mental stimulation, and building new friendships. There are communal dining areas, where every meal is an opportunity for conversation and connection. There are always staff members and other residents around, providing a constant hum of human presence and the chance for spontaneous chats. You don't have to arrange transportation to a social event. It's right there, often just down the hall. You don't have to cook for yourself if you don't feel like it, and you still get to share a meal with others. The environment is designed to foster interaction, preventing the kind of deep-seated loneliness that can plague those living alone with limited opportunities for connection. It's about more than just having people around. It's about having a structured environment that encourages and facilitates meaningful social engagement, which is a powerful antidote to the isolation that can subtly creep into our independent lives. This kind of consistent interaction can not only lift your spirits but can also keep your mind more active and alert, contributing significantly to your overall quality of life. Finally, let's address the sixth hard truth. And this one might be the most surprising, because it challenges a very deeply held belief, the misconception of loss of control in a nursing home. For many of us, the idea of moving into a nursing home feels like giving up everything. Our choices, our dignity, our very identity. We envision a place where every decision is made for us, where we lose all autonomy and become just another resident in a sterile environment. This fear of losing control is a powerful barrier, often preventing us from even considering these facilities as a viable option. However, this perception is often outdated and doesn't reflect the reality of modern long-term care. While it's true that there are routines and rules in place for safety and efficiency, good nursing homes actually work to empower residents and support their individual choices within a structured environment. You might be surprised to learn how much control you can actually retain, and in some cases, even gain. Consider this: when you live alone and your health is declining, you might be losing control in quiet, insidious ways. You might lose the ability to cook your favorite meals safely, or to manage your own medications accurately. You might lose the independence of driving, making you reliant on others for transportation. You might lose the physical strength to maintain your home, forcing you to give up treasured aspects of your life. In a nursing home, some of these burdens are lifted, and with that comes a different kind of control. You gain the control of knowing you're safe. That help is always at hand. You gain the control of consistent, professional care for your health needs, rather than relying on overwhelmed family or struggling to manage it yourself. You gain the control of having nutritious meals prepared for you, allowing you to focus your energy elsewhere. You gain the control of easy access to social activities, exercise programs, and therapeutic services, without having to arrange transport or find providers. While you might not choose your exact mealtime, you often have choices within the menu. While you have a set room, you often have the freedom to personalize it. Many facilities offer a variety of activities, allowing you to choose what interests you. You retain control over your personal decisions, your visitors, your daily schedule within the broader framework of the facility. The true loss of control often happens gradually when living alone, as physical and mental limitations slowly strip away capabilities in a well-run nursing home. By contrast, you're not giving up control. You're often regaining it in areas that truly matter, like safety, consistent medical care, and robust social engagement. It's a shift from struggling to maintain an eroding independence to embracing a supported environment that allows you to focus on your well-being and enjoy life, free from the constant anxieties of living alone with increasing needs. This perspective shift, from seeing a nursing home as a place of last resort to a place of support and opportunity, can be incredibly liberating. It's about choosing a new path that prioritizes safety, health, social connection, and peace of mind. Not just for yourself, but for your loved ones too. So, we've walked through 6 hard truths that are crucial to consider: the myth of absolute freedom at home, the hidden costs that can surprise you, the real safety risks as health declines, the immense emotional toll on the family who are trying to care for you, the often overlooked social stimulation gap that impacts our happiness and cognitive health, and finally, that surprising reality that choosing a nursing home isn't always about losing control, but often about gaining a different kind of freedom and peace. These aren't easy conversations to have, and facing these realities can feel daunting. But remember, approaching this decision with open eyes and a clear understanding of all the facts allows you to make a choice that truly serves your best interests and those of your family. It's about making an informed decision, not one based on fear or outdated perceptions. Small changes in perspective, like the ones we've discussed today, can truly make a big difference in how you approach the next chapter of your life, leading to greater peace, safety, and happiness for everyone involved. I truly hope this conversation has given you some valuable insights, and perhaps even a new way of thinking about these important decisions. What are your thoughts on these truths? Have you experienced any of them firsthand, either for yourself or a loved one? Sharing your experiences can be incredibly helpful for others who are grappling with these same questions. So please, leave a comment below and let's continue this important discussion. If you found this video helpful and enlightening, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps us know we're providing content that matters to you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical advice and supportive conversations designed to help you navigate life's big questions as you live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching. And remember, your future is in your hands, and making informed choices is the first step towards a truly fulfilling life.